This is the Paranormal Report. I still haven't come up with an open,
That's
but
so
anyway.
corny. Can we
Yes.
stop? Can we please stop this? It's too corny. I can't deal with this. I don't feel like dancing. There you go.
You
And
gotta
nobody
dance.
wants to
you
see
gotta
that.
dance. You gotta dance.
It's like an Elaine kind of thing.
welcome to the Paranormal Report, where we cover the world of dance and the paranormal. I would be the worst person to cover dance because I do not dance.
No. Well,
No.
I took ballet when I was like 5 or 6. Ballet and tap, like most little girls do. Had no talent for that. No.
Two things I can't do for sure. I can't dance and I can't draw. Those are two.
Yeah. I can't dance. I can't sing. I can't draw. We'll be here for days if I go through everything I can't do. So let's move on.
So anywho, unfortunately, the time for laughter is kind of paused here for a second because very sad case coming out recently. It's been all over the internet and just really sad about this one. This is a bad thing to hear. Tell us what happened, Dar.
Yeah, this is all over the news. I'm sure many of you have heard this. It's definitely gone into the mainstream. I'm just happening to use the article from Daily Mail, but you can find it anywhere, basically. Dan Rivera, who's a famous paranormal investigator, has passed away suddenly, unexpectedly. I don't want to say suddenly. Sometimes that gives it the wrong connotation, but it was sudden. Nobody was expecting this at all. He was on tour with the Annabelle doll. Okay. So we've had stories in the past. We've talked about how this Annabelle doll has been going on tour. It's the Devil's on the Run tour. And they're taking Annabelle cross country to different places. And they were in Gettysburg for this one. And I guess I believe it was on Sunday night, he was in his hotel, found unresponsive, called emergency dispatch. They were doing CPR. This is just so sad.
Oh, yeah.
He was the lead investigator for the New England Society of Psychic Research, but later the organization did confirm his death, 54 years old. That hits home even because I am 54. There we go. See, I'm not afraid of numbers. So that's sad, scary, kind of hits home. They don't know what the cause of death was.
Right.
Unfortunately, people are speculating all kinds of things on the internet instead of just being kind and compassionate right now. Yeah. Go ahead, Jim. I mean,
Aaron Sagers, him from TAPS. He had a post on Facebook, and I thought he made some good points. He said, some people are using his passing to push an agenda for profit, and it's just disgusting. Dan was a family man, a respected paranormal investigator, and he left this world way too soon. Let's focus on remembering Dan for who he was, not for turning his death into some made-up, and I'll say BS, story to get clicks or attention. So, I mean, you have to think about when something like this happens. I mean, I think that a lot of people are like, oh, spooky. That's like, this is not funny. This is not amusing. It's just plain old sad. And
they're saying, people are, the doll killed him. The doll killed. Come on. Let's be respectful of what's going on. He has done so much in his life. He was a veteran. He served. Tons of paranormal stuff. He said, I guess they said he was like really involved in it from when he was a little kid, and, The Conjuring, he helped a lot of work on that. He, did a lot of work with the Warrens. The tour is a viral hit. It was sold out in Gettysburg this past weekend too. And, we've had all these stories recently about, the doll caused this and the doll. Nobody knows, right? And it's kind of like everything we report. You don't really know. So
right.
Just, a lot of fear mongering and stuff going on with this, but you really should be more respectful. A man is gone, and
his family's lost him. Yeah. Very
yes. He was in the Army, like I said. And there was a comment he made that was really, really good that I wanted to go ahead and talk about. Let me find it. So he wrote about the afterlife and a touching 2020 tribute to Lorraine Warren, right? And this is his quote, because this kind of hit home. This was really something. He said, "My answer was, in life, we leave a piece of ourselves with loved ones and friends on our journey through life until there are no more pieces to give away. You would think that is the end, but when you look back at all the pieces you gave away, those pieces will always be remembered," he said. "So I say I will never die. My journey has only begun."
Well, there you have it.
So I'm sorry, I'm getting a little teary with that, because if you really think about that, it's like, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So, so be careful when you're reading different articles. Make sure you're kind of separating the sensationalism from like the true facts of what happened here. So,
no, it's true. And may he rest in peace and his family.
And thoughts and prayers to his family. And yeah, it's a very difficult thing. So.
Interesting follow-up to a story we had last week. Now, of course, if you follow UFO X or UFO Twitter, it's all a Twitter with Ross Coltart having said, I believe the phraseology was the Tic Tac UFO from 2004, I think it was under Lockheed Martin control. And many people took it, me included, as him saying, hey, it was Lockheed Martin technology. But he clarified this week on one of his programs, and I'm going to read from this transcript, and so we can kind of get out there what Ross really meant. And I think there is a delineation here. He said, a lot of people seem to be thinking that I'm suggesting that all Tic Tacs are Lockheed Martin. That's not the case at all. What I was told, and I'm reasonably sure that this is the case, is that the Tic Tac was being operated by Lockheed Martin, and it's conceivable that it was being operated neuromeditatively, psionically, by human psionic, which is what I understand is the way these retrieved non-human craft are being operated. It's not clear to me, though, whether this is a craft that was built by Lockheed Martin or whether it is Lockheed Martin testing the use of neuromeditative signaling, as our friends at Skywatcher call it, to operate one of these craft. So basically, it's a lot of fancy words for psychically controlling it. So I don't know if it's a backtrack on his part or if it's a clarification, because if you say something is under the control of someone, it could be taken either way. So maybe that's what he meant from the beginning. It was just the way that it kind of came across. But to me, initially, I even put it over at virtualcampfiregroup.com that I felt that he was saying it was Lockheed Martin technology. But if you go on and read in this transcript, and we have a link in the show notes.
Well, that's this week's transcript, not when he originally said it, right?
Yeah. But I do think he felt the pushback. Now, and he's saying, he did say, he go on to say that not all NHI, non-human intelligence vehicles, are all Tic Tacs are not necessarily all human controlled or human run, that they're human technology. Excuse me, you got to be very careful what you say. He said basically, it's not clear that they're all human technology. Some of them could be, I think, is basically what he said. But he backtracked a little bit, but maybe some might consider that a clarification. We have the links to newsnationnow.com, also YouTube in the show notes, where you can watch it for yourself and see what you think. But I think he definitely felt the need to address it because he got a lot of comments, apparently.
Well, because he didn't really provide that much, right? I mean, wasn't it more like, I took it to, hey, look, I got breaking news, blah, blah, blah. Well, provide all the breaking news then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to present a story like that and you have a source and you have all this information, be a little more thorough so that there's not a question out there that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
He could have expanded on the beginning, but he's expanded on it now.
Well, now he has, but
yeah. Well, you know,
I don't know.
there's such a thing as good media savvy, where you put something out there to get a reaction. Then
that's kind of what I was thinking, right? Let's put that out there. Let's not give too many details, and then
we'll have the follow up. Yeah. But
so that's kind of where I think he was going.
Necessarily evil. I think that's just smart media practice, let's say.
Okay. I'm not in the media, so what do I know?
I do want to mention on the UFO subject, you really need to
Yeah.
watch this week's paranormal podcast. Also, listen to it or watch it. It's actually kind of mini blowing up on YouTube. And the filmmaker, and I want to make this very clear, this is not my claim. This is his claim. But
Who
he
is?
says, Dean
Who is?
Alioto. I was
Okay.
going to say that.
Okay,
Dean
sorry.
Alioto, he has a new movie out, The Alien Perspective 2, which is a sequel to his movie, The Alien Perspective. And it got rejected by Amazon. And Dean believes and posits on the show that Amazon is currently rejecting UFO documentaries. Now, again, I don't have direct knowledge of that. That's Dean's thought. He talks about it on the show. Plus a lot of more interesting stuff that we talk about for about 50 minutes. It's a good episode, so check it out on the Paranormal Podcast. But I thought that was quite the bombshell allegation. And,
Things that make you go,
they
right?
do make you go,
Like,
They
why?
do make you go, Yep,
If
yep,
that
yep, yep,
statement's true, I mean, we don't know, but if that happens to be the case, why would Amazon be doing that?
Well, you'll have to think about that.
Oh, we could
But
sit there
again-
and speculate on that one for
Again,
hours.
alleged, we're not saying it. We're not
No,
saying
we
it.
didn't say it. He said it.
No.
It's fine. And
Yeah.
he might have more information that he was
He
than,
definitely has more information than we have.
Right,
There's
right.
no question about that.
Right. So
Now, onto a war of the media, onto a war of countries. Recently, we had that Israeli-Iranian war, which seems to have at least calmed down for now, and hopefully will stay that way. But Iranian officials have an interesting claim recently, and tell us what they had to say.
yeah, they posted Abdallah Ganji. He's the former editor of the IRGC linked newspaper Javan. I hope I'm doing that right. Or told his 150,000 followers on X that a strange phenomena had taken place during the 12-day war between Iran and Israel. And basically, he's claiming that hostile countries in the West and Hebrew intelligence services use occult sciences and the jinn for espionage. So he's saying after the war, they found a few sheets of paper on the streets of Tehran, containing talismans with Jewish symbols. In the first year of the Gaza war, this is his quote, news had also leaked about Netanyahu meeting with occult specialists. So they are claiming, that they are using the jinn in the war against them.
I didn't
Just
know
with-
that the
with their
jinn
claim.
were an Israeli belief, a Jewish belief. I wasn't aware of that. I thought the jinn were more
I don't
around the
know
Arabic.
Right. I don't
I mean,
know
I don't know enough
about
to
it.
say for sure. But here's
don't
what I
either.
would say. Those papers, that might have been some kind of psyop, psychological warfare, releasing
Could have
that to
been.
make
Who kno-
people think, oh, we've got these.
I don't know.
The thing, first of all, and I'm not going to get political, but I don't believe anything the Iranian administration says. So I won't say more than that. But the point is that maybe I could see them using psychological warfare, maybe putting down leaflets or something like that, saying, hey, we're calling in supernatural powers to, make people not want to continue the war. I definitely could see that. And I mean, in a sense, the United States did use remote viewing to spy on the Soviets, but this seems like a little bit of a, I don't know. I think
There
it's
was some
just trying
back
to
and
rile
forth.
up people. Yeah. I'm not buying
Walid
it.
Gadban, Israel's political advisor to the permanent representative of Israel to the United Nations, reposted the Mossad's X post with the caption in Farsi, jinn are everywhere, with a ghost emoji at the end.
Now, this was in the Jerusalem Post, right? Is that where you
Jerusalem
found-
Post. So everybody remember when you're reading media, but I just found, I found the article and I included it, even though I know it could get very political, just because it's very interesting that somebody is mentioning occult and the jinn as being used in warfare.
Yeah. And it may be
You guys
trying
decide
to,
what you think. and-
maybe this person from Iran is trying to whip up the populace against Israel further.
Who
by
knows?
saying, "Oh, they're using the supernatural." That could be
Yeah.
too. But
Who knows?
well,
But I just thought it was kind of interesting because
it is interesting.
you don't hear a lot
You don't hear about
about
the jinn
the
in
jinn
geopolitics very
and
much.
yes. So that's why I included it because I'm like, wow, okay. That is interesting. There you go. What else you don't hear about, Jim?
Well, I got to tell you, I love
That's
this story
interesting.
because this reminded me. I don't know if you're familiar with the quote. Did you basically hear when the late Stephen Hawking said something along the lines of if aliens exist, civilized aliens, the last thing we want to do is get their attention, right? We don't want to be detected. Well, apparently, too late. This is according to IFLscience.com. The headline is aliens up to 200 light years away could find Earth thanks to our airports. Specifically, radar systems used by the military and so forth. They leak radio waves into space. And not an insignificant amount, this article says. There's over 40,000 airports in the world. And while not all of them have radar, the ones that do create a combined radio signal of 2 times 10 to the 15th power watts. If aliens within 200 light years have a telescope comparable to the Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia, yeah, they would pick it up. I'm guessing if there are aliens 200 light years away ahead, that they have at least as good a telescope as West Virginia. So, and they said specifically military airports, military bases put out more. Even mobile phone masts could be detectable to up to 10 light years away. And I kind of agree with that. The idea what Hawking said, everybody's like, well, let's discover the aliens. Let's say there are aliens out there. Especially if there's multiple species or civilizations. Some of them might be good, some of them might be bad. If they can pick up our signals, they're probably more technologically advanced than what we are. What happens in human history, for example, when a technologically superior civilization runs into a technologically less advantaged civilization? What happens to that less advantaged civilization?
What could happen? Yeah.
Poof, it goes away. It's tampered with. It's, in some cases, unfortunately, wiped out. So, again, it kind of makes you think. It's like the AI thing. If AI gets too smart, are we just going to be like a hill of ants that they step on because we're getting in the way of doing something? I heard that analogy on a YouTube video this week. Somebody saying by 2027, AI will be so strong that it will just see humans as an impedance to its goal, so they'll just wipe them out like we would, take a can of Raid to an anthill.
Well, what I was going to say, though, Jim, like all these airports, they're so messed up and it's so convoluted. They have to go through all that data of the radio waves to figure out what's going on because, they can't get flights to land on time or they're delayed.
And your luggage is lost in Dubuque.
That's right. I'm trying to make a joke. Good luck figuring those waves out.
We recently flew at Cleveland Hopkins Airport, and I could tell you that was a disgrace. That was an absolute disgrace.
I don't. There's no reason for it. It's Cleveland. Airport. I'm not like everyone disparages Cleveland, but we live here. We're kind of allowed a little bit, but there was no reason for the complete chaos at that airport. Zero.
It was a Friday morning.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get it.
It wasn't a holiday weekend.
So completely unorganized.
Yeah.
They were so unorganized. So unorganized. Ugh. Yeah. Whatever. It's like the whole town.
Don't get me started. Someplace we might want to fly to, though, you're going to talk about.
Well, yeah. You're going to help me. But recently in the virtual campfire group, I put a poll up.
Virtualcampfiregroup.com, virtualcampfiregroup.com. Join it. It's free.
Yeah. So I put a poll up, you read a lot of different lists, a lot of different websites say, oh, these are the most haunted places in the world So I put up 5. Unfortunately, our poll only lets us put up 5. So I picked 5 things, and one of them happened to be the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana. So I picked this haunted site this week because, Jim, you have a ton of campfire callers who have
Gone
provided
to the Myrtles. Yeah.
yeah, who've gone to the Myrtles and have had experiences. So, yeah, it's got a very rich history. It was built in 1796, I believe, by General David Bradford. It's on 600 acres. And all kinds of hauntings supposedly have occurred there. People go there with that. They have day tours, they have evening mystery tours that kind of show the different ghost things that are going on there. People have all kinds of different experiences, handprints in the mirrors, footsteps on the stairs, different kinds of smells, vanishing objects. But there were so many kinds of things that have happened in that history of that
Right.
plantation. You know, there is a website out there, though, that is very interesting. If you're very interested in this site, read up more about it. There's a website that is claiming that a lot of the things that they're telling
Yeah.
you on the tour aren't quite true. It's been a little over dramatized.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. The enslaved person Chloe is supposed to be the main ghost in residence.
Chloe or Cleo, sometimes
Yeah.
that ghost is called. But they did some research and never found anybody
Right.
with those that
I'll
name.
I'll just read
Yeah,
a blurb or two.
yeah.
And this is American Hauntings Inc. INK.com, AmericanHauntingsInc.com. So check them out. But they said the problem with this, talking about Chloe or Cleo, is that as far as we can tell, Chloe never existed at all. Not only did she not murder members of the Woodruff family, but it's unlikely that the family ever had a slave by this name. Said countless hours have been spent looking for the property records of this family, which are still available on file as public records in St. Francisville, and no evidence that Chloe ever existed. So, I mean, again,
Also, that they weren't poisoned too. There's a question of, I guess they're saying that the children and the mother were poisoned by Chloe, and then they had her killed or whatever. But apparently, the children and the mom died of yellow fever, not of poisoning, according to this website.
both
I
things
don't
could
know.
be true, though. Both things could be true. Chloe may not have been a real person, may not have been a ghost, but there could be other ghosts because
There
again,
are, and they said that in the article.
Right.
They are not claiming that the Myrtles isn't haunted. They do think it's haunted. They do. There's been too many accounts of things happening to people there. They just think the way the ghosts came about weren't quite the way it was being presented. That's kind of what the site is saying. There have been things that have happened on this plantation. There was a murder, not 10 murders, like I guess the ghost tours are saying. There were other weird things that have happened there that were like tragic events. And they think a lot of that is the reason why it's kind of
there's
haunted.
A historic place like this has a lot of energy in it, and I do believe
Yes.
that energy leads to hauntings many times.
Yes.
And it would seem like that would be the kind of place that would be rife for it. And I do want to start, now that we're going to be empty nesters, I do want to start visiting some of these places because it's kind of
I
silly
think it
to
would be
talk about
really
these
cool.
places and not visit them. And this is definitely one on the list. This is definitely
Oh, yeah,
one
for
on the
sure.
list.
No, for sure. And then since it's in Louisiana, we could just like go south a little bit and hop on a cruise.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, we did have a virtual campfire group, a poll about Mansfield, the Mansfield Reformatory, and probably about 19-20% said, yeah, I'm there. Other people said, I don't travel or I'm too far away. We're more looking for an indication there of, okay, we understand if you're not within a couple hours of Ohio, you're not going to drive 12 hours to come. We get that. The question is if we did something like that in other places, Mansfield being a natural one because it's close to us, and it might be a good test case. But let us know over virtualcampfiregroup.com. That's the best way to interact with us these days. And let us know what you think about us doing things at events. And we know that people can probably only come from a couple hours away. We understand that. So just keep that in mind and let us know over at virtualcampfiregroup.com because we want to do some things, but we only want to do them if you want us to do them. We don't want to force anything upon you. I mean, I can still do this show.
Because we know money's an
Yes.
issue for us as well.
No joke.
Right?
JimHerald.com/plus.
We know you don't just have like, a
Unlimited
limitless
travel
funds to
funds,
go
or you have
like
kids, or
wherever.
you have pets, or you have obligations. We get it. We get it. But we just want
We
to
have
know
dogs,
because,
so we
yeah,
know.
yeah. So, I mean, the thing is that we want to do some of these things, but we only want to do them if we think, we'll have a reasonable turnout of people. And I think we would. But would love to hear from you.
Yeah,
Virtualcampfiregroup.com.
absolutely.
Virtualcampfiregroup.com. So this next story, this is really interesting to me. You know how much I love the subject of near-death experiences. Probably my favorite subject we cover on the Paranormal Podcast. Tell us about what you found, because this is really interesting.
Yeah, Unilad has a story this week about a psychic who suffered a near-death experience, and she's telling what exactly it feels like to die, right? So her name is Amy Bolesky, right? Um, she, she was not well, apparently, obviously, and oh my goodness. Well, hold on here because there's a different story.
Well, there you go. This is what happens when you're doing it live to tape,
Well,
live
I
to
have the
drive.
story pulled up, but this is a different, like it starts out with being the right story, and then they're talking about this other person who was an atheist who
Ooh,
had a near-death
spooky,
experience.
spooky,
Oh
spooky.
my goodness gracious. Yeah, okay, let me get to the right article.
Well,
Here,
while you're
let's
looking
hope
for
to.
that, I'll just pontificate on why I find near-death experiences so fascinating. And a big part of the reason is that, scientists will say, well, it is the throes of a dying brain. It's dopamine. It's easing us evolutionary machinery to ease us into the dying process. But then how do they explain, Dar, when people are floating above their own body, and they can describe in detail what the medical staff is doing, or they can
Well,
read a label that's on top of a
well, this
cabinet
is what
or
happened
something
to
like
her.
that. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, so
see how that vamping works?
see,
Perfect. Fill
well,
the
she was
time.
on the operating table with the doctors and nurses, and she saw all of them freaking out, trying to keep her alive. She was I guess she was having a dangerous procedure on her spine, and it put her body in a state of shock or whatever. But she saw everybody like freaking out over her, and and she saw the heart monitor and the numbers on the screen were plummeting. She saw all of this. But she stopped caring about what was going on around her, she said, and the feelings she had were more like internal, I think she said.
Huh.
She said she could see it, she couldn't hear it anymore, it was silent. And quote, she says, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, without any feeling, transition, or anything like that, I noticed that my vision, or what I was seeing, was beginning to drift to a different perspective. It was drifting up, and she was looking down, and all she could feel was love. Right. So that seems to be a very common feeling from what we've been reading about near death experience. It's that love. So she said she could only think of two things. The first one was, wow, that sucks that that's happening to my body. And she knew it was her body. And second, she said she could feel how much love she had. And all she wanted to do was tell her mom she loved her. And it was like utter bliss, she said.
And that's
She
very
could see
compatible with
everyone,
what
had
people
no
say.
pain. Yeah, she said no pain. It was amazing. And then the next thing she remembers 2 weeks later, she woke up in the hospital. So,
Well, the thing is that, I mean, it seems to be pretty danged consistent. People
yeah,
describe very
peaceful.
simple things. Now, you do have the occasional, like Howard Storm, the occasional hell-like experience, but that's a minority. Most of them are like
Yeah.
more love than ever, more real than real, very vibrant, very vivid. It's all very consistent. I don't think these people are making this up.
Yeah. She said she goes by at the Boleski on TikTok, and she explained when you cross over, you're either met with one of your loved ones or a guy. She didn't go into detail about
A
whether that
guide
guy
or
was
a guy? A guy?
guy, like a man.
A guy. Hey,
Uh,
hey.
hey, some guy.
Yo,
Um,
you're here over in the other side. What's up?
yeah, want some
Uh,
gabagool?
uh,
Um, No, she didn't go into detail if it was Jesus or whatever. Um,
Maybe
and
he's just named Guy.
maybe guy with the gabagoo.
Guy Smiley. But anyway.
Guy smiling. I like that one. There we go.
That's a callback for some of us of a certain age.
Yes, look it up.
So this is kind of cool. I love to hear when scientists really do something kind of like there was that old Apple commercial, the crazy ones, the ones who wouldn't, think different. And they show Albert Einstein and people like that.
Oh,
people
yes.
who went out on their own limb and did their own thing. Well,
Right.
Popular Mechanics had a cool story a few days ago about this scientist, totally serious scientist, a physicist who embarked on a lifelong quest to build a time machine. And Ronald Mallet, when he was a child, his dad died. And he was very fascinated by Einstein's work and by the idea of time. So after his dad died, he decided to build a time machine. He's a theoretical physicist originally from the Bronx, and his dad was a TV repairman, Boyd. And his dad was very much pushing them into science. Like we give him toys like gyroscopes or radio sets.
Smart.
In order to get his allowance, he had to answer questions from his multiplication tables. Well, the tragedy is, in 1955, Mallet's father died unexpectedly at age 33 of a massive heart attack.
Oh, gosh.
So a year later, Mallet came across the book The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, and he said, I'm going to build one. So I could see a kid doing that, particularly wanting to travel back in time and see their dad and those kind of things. But you would think it'd be something that they would forget about, right? Not so with Mallet. He went on to get his degrees and become a physicist. And he started working on a time machine. He used what Einstein called time dilation. And apparently time dilation is the reason we have GPS and why all of us, whether traveling in a plane, car, or just taking the elevator in our own small and imperceptible ways, become time travelers. Yet all those ideas leverage forward time travel. But Mallet says, if time was suddenly mutable, as Einstein said, could someone conceivably go back in time? He didn't say it directly, but that's in the article. So, it consumed his entire his entire academic life. And he's worked on it. He says, if gravity can affect time and light can create gravity, then light can affect time. It turns out that in Einstein's theory, a rotating black hole will actually take time and twist it into a loop. So he goes on to talk about, now other people have said, nope. In 2005, two physicists from Tufts University doused cold water on his plans for time travel, saying that CTCs, which is what he uses to justify this, occur at distances from the axis greater than the radius of the visible universe by an immense factor. So basically they blew holes in it. So it's not saying that he's close to a time machine, but think about that. A serious scientist dedicating his whole life to creating a time machine. And for that very personal reason, I probably guess it's because he wanted to be with his dad again. Pretty cool.
I mean, story. How awesome is that? I mean, so maybe he doesn't get to do it in his lifetime. Maybe it can't happen now with what we, with limited knowledge and technology we have now. But what if his work goes on to spur someone else in about, 50 years, 100 years.
And what if somebody travels back in time and then tells him the past version, hey, this worked.
Can you imagine how awesome? He's to be applauded. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think
what else is awesome?
What is awesome?
I think it's awesome if we get our dogs a psychic reading. What do you think, Jim?
I do.
Is there a place anywhere that we could get that done?
Well, if we have the funds for it, because this is $500 a night. It's in New York City. Now, there are 2 Walker hotels in New York City. I assume those are upscale hotels. I don't know much about the Walker hotels. They're
that's because we too poor to stay anywhere there.
Pup psychic appointments through August 26th. For up to $500, Guests get an overnight stay while their dogs get pampered and a meeting with a medium who will offer intuitive insights into your dog's inner world. They have these locations are in Tribeca and Greenwich Village. Ooh. And basically it's to lure people and their four-legged guests. And it's being done in conjunction with Happy Trails, a New York City doggy daycare facility, and pet food brand Ollie.
Yes,
So
I've heard of
there you
Ollie.
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
so they
there's
get a
range.
reading, right?
If you want something a little, you can. The offering called the Inner Pup Package runs between $340 and $380 at night at the Walker Hotel Tribeca. While in Greenwich Village, you're going to pay $495 a night.
And what do they get, Jim?
Well, you get intuitive insights into your dog's inner world, from a temperament to secret quirks and preferences. That's from the Pup Psychic. Now, I don't know.
You know what?
who
Why
the
don't
Pup
they just
Psychic
give
is.
me the money and, I spend a couple hours
I
with
don't
them. I
totally
can figure
discount
it
the
out.
idea of pet psychics. We had one, and I wish I could
know.
remember her name. Nancy Mello. That's who we had. So I'm not
I
comparing
remember that
Nancy
now.
Mello to this, but we had Nancy Mello. Very interesting. Very interesting. They also get a day pass to Happy Tales, where they can socialize in either an indoor or outdoor space. Get a little, socialization.
Make some doggy friends, yeah.
And an in-room menu from Ollie includes jerky treats and doggo ice cream. And that meal...
Rambo would throw up.
And because they know all about them, the meal aligns with their temperament and preferences based on their psychic reading. So it comes full
there you
circle.
go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, you just changed our dog's diet. You went to a more kind of natural diet.
Ask Jim, ask any of the girls, ask people what I have gone through in the last 12 years of their lives, how many dog food brands we have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we get on one and I think it's good and I think they're okay, then they become not okay. So I don't know if they change a formula, midway through, whatever. One, the dogs that we own are extremely picky. And two, they seem to always have so many digestive issues. They're little babies. So it's like, it's just been so rough to figure stuff out. So I gave up, because after this last time with all their digestive problems, they were vomiting and having other issues. And it was just like, you know what? I am tired of this. So I swore off almost everything commercial, and I'm making their dog food now. And if you're going to do this, though, get your vet's advice and do it the right way. Do your research. You can't just give them human food and not have the certain vitamins and minerals and things that they need. I do supplement with that. But you know what? It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. I'm spending almost half. I mean, because I tried everything from just your common everyday dog food
pretty
to
pricey good stuff.
Very pricey good stuff, thinking, okay, if I get the really good things and, we avoid this and avoid that, and, maybe Teddy will stop scratching, and maybe like I said, it would work for a while, and then we'd have to switch because they would start having issues. So I don't know what they were putting in the food or what was happening. So we'll do this experiment. We're going to try my homemade food and see if that happens midway through as well. But so far, so good. They absolutely love it. What's not to love? It's just vegetables and meat, little bit of grain, but nothing much, and salmon oil and all kinds of healthy stuff. So,
well, you are an excellent dog mom as well as a mom. So you always do such.
They
a
may
great
have
job
heard
with that.
something going. I don't know if perhaps after this is over, I've got to back off my chair carefully, because I'm not sure if somebody had a problem.
If you
back
hear
there.
about,
I don't know what they were
know that you
doing.
backed over.
Either that they were scratching each other. I have no idea. But.
I wanted to point out something else. You're wearing, I don't know if you can give us a little preview, your Summerween Vibe shirt. Summerween Vibes. And below, you can't see it, but it says Jim Herald's Campfire. Yeah.
I'm not going to take my whole shirt off.
No. There you go.
That?
Very good. Very good. Yeah. So you can get that at jimherald.com/merch.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. It is a very neat shirt. It is.
We have to
very
buy them
neat.
too. So it's not like,
Yeah,
we
I
don't get
have
all
one,
this
but
stuff free.
see, I wore mine. I was so excited.
You look
about it. I wore
like
it
you're
the first
wearing
day.
like winter clothes today.
No, this is short sleeve.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, And it's not just lip service, guys. I ask Jim. I wear graphic shirts like almost every day.
Oh, I do
love,
too. I enjoy them.
I love my graphic shirts. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I have long sleeve for the winter. I have short sleeve for summer. I'm always wearing graphic shirts. And ever since we started all of this and I started with Bella and Canvas, they're so soft. I like the quality. They do hold up better.
So get yours at jimherald.com/merch, jimherald.com/merch.
Some new things are coming. I know I keep saying that, but they are.
No,
I'm working on it.
We're working on it.
It's hard. It's hard because you got to do the right thing. I don't want to gouge anybody, and I don't, and I want good quality, and you try to find out things for shipping. Like, for instance, we used to have some vinyl decals and stickers in the store, and the sticker itself might have been a few dollars, $3-4, but then they were charging you guys $5 and something to ship a sticker.
Right, which was ridiculous.
$5 to ship a sticker? Why? What are you putting it in gold?
You're coming up with an alternate.
I'm trying to come up with an alternative for stickers that it's not going to gouge you with shipping, because that's ridiculous. So stay tuned. It's coming. I've got it almost figured out. I'm like this close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see what else is new this week. Failing equipment.
We have one more story, Jim.
We do? Oh.
We do.
Yes, that's right. Oh.
It's my favorite kind of story. It's the creepy doll story.
Oh, there you go. Tell us about it.
Well, have you heard of the Labubu dolls? Do you know these things, Jim?
I don't think so.
No? Oh my gosh. These things, okay. I had no idea these existed except for a few weeks ago. But anyway, conspiracy theorists are claiming that Labubu dolls are haunted and they can possess people. Okay. There is an absolute trend craze going on with these Labubu dolls. They look like little monsters, like little monster figurines. People are attaching them to their bags, their purses. It was designed by Hong Kong Belgian artist Casing Lung. And I guess people like them because a lot of times they will come in blind boxes. So you pay what I think is an exorbitant fee, but you get a box and you don't know what kind of Labubu doll you're going to get. And they have gone, believe this, anywhere from $149 to $170,000.
Whoa.
For this little.
That's some expensive dolls.
It's a little doll. It's like this big and it's got a clip at the top. And, it looks like a little monster kind of thing. It's got like, some of them have teeth, some of them are themed. Some of them are holding Coca-Cola. I don't know. But people, the conspiracy theory is that they're possessed and they're actually Pazuzu inspired demons. And I guess it all goes back to an episode of The Simpsons. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't see it. Because I guess Homer brings home a Pazuzu statue that contained the demon, and then it possessed Maggie. And so now they're saying, oh, these little Labubus look just like a Pazuzu. Pazuzu, I'm sorry. So, but I guess it's not true. So, yeah.
There you go.
They're saying they're mischievous little dolls, but they're kind-hearted, and they're. I don't know. I'm just not going to spend that kind of money, and I think they're ugly. But hey, you do you, and if you love them, you buy them and have fun, and God bless, and have a great time with them. They're ugly. In my opinion, they're ugly, but hey. There's been plenty of ugly other fads in the past. I believe it's a fad.
Pet rocks.
Pet rocks. And don't forget the Tamagotchi incident.
Yeah. The Tamagotchi incident. Yeah. We went to get this is in the 90s when Tamagotchis were all the rage, and some toy store had a sale on them. They had one of those big wire bins.
Because my mom wanted one.
There must have been 200 Tamagotchis in there. And there was
tons.
At that point, a middle-aged guy. I was in my mid-20s. There's a middle-aged guy there, and I was she wanted a certain color, right? Isn't that right?
I think my mom wanted a certain color because they were just like these
little. So I was going, and believe me,
things.
I am like the most respectful person. I am
and considerate.
I totally don't try to tear stuff up. The old saying, if it ain't yours, tear it up. Well, I'm not. I'm just the opposite. I'm very careful. So this really kind of teed me off because I was going through these Tamagotchis to find one for my mother-in-law that was the color. And this guy's like, no respect, you punk. It's like, these are Tamagotchis.
Yeah, he was basically trying to start a fight with you, saying that you were throwing them around, but you were not throwing them around. This guy was just like, he just wanted to start something.
He was
over a toy.
Yeah.
It reminded me of what, Jingle All the Way or whatever. Like just trying to get a toy.
A-hole. I mean, I hate to use such language, but anyhow, he was. So anyway, we survived that. I didn't take the bait. I didn't get in a fight.
No, thank goodness, because it would not have been good.
Yes. Sometime we'll have to tell him about the flying hamburger incident.
Sometime we will. Yeah.
Not today.
Maybe today. On behind the scenes, we should talk about the flying hamburger.
Yeah. If you're Plus Club member, JimHerald.com/plus, we will tell you about the flying hamburger.
You'll like this
incident.
Story.
Oh, it's a good one. And
it's when Jim and Dar weren't getting along that day.
It was a very close call. It could have ended up very differently.
Jim might have been in the hospital.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I would have. Now that I would have deserved, but anyway, we'll leave that for another time.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Paranormal Report. As I hit the theme music.
Yeah, don't forget our live stream, July 26th, Summerween live stream,
7 p.m. Eastern. Bye bye. Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.